Hi, this is Rise Robots Rise on eBay. I've got another neck up here for sale. This neck is a typical Fender Stratocaster type neck. This is actually built by Warmoth, which is a company who makes specialized necks. A lot of features on this neck. I'd also like you to stick around. There's a couple things that I like and I don't like about this particular neck. Long story short, it's got an Irvana nut installed, which is a compensated neck. Compensated nut. If you're not familiar with how these things work, on a normal guitar with a normal nut, all these frets here generally run a little bit sharp, which is why you tune your guitar perfectly and you can't understand why your D chord goes out of tune, or notes along your G string, because they're not compensated for anyway. The thing's installed there. It's also got, you can see here, Planet Waves tuners, which are locking tuners. You put the string through, you lock the knob on the back, holds it in place. They also cut the string for you as you tune up the guitar to pitch for the first time. You have to make sure you put the strings through the right end. There's a ball on one end of the tuners, if you can kind of see close up. I don't know how close I can get with this camera, but you put them through the end, the hole with the ball, the silver ball over. If you put it through the wrong end, it'll cut the string for you and you can't use it. Okay, well, like I said, this is a 22 fret Warmoth neck. This is a compensated, this is a compound radius neck, which means that up at this area, it's a little bit more rounded. It's a 10-inch radius, so nice and roundish, kind of similar to a normal Fender neck, which is a 9.5 radius. So it has that kind of rounded feel for chords. As you get up to here, it gets to be a 16-inch radius. So the fretboard actually becomes a little bit flatter, which is easier for you to fret notes and do solos and get better action and things like that. Very nifty little design that they came up with years ago, and a lot of guitars are making use of that feature. So this is a guitar, between this and the tuners, a lot of the headaches that you get with guitars going out of tune and bad action and stuff like that is this is a Warmoth Pro neck. I mean, no doubt about it. This is really the state of where bolt-on necks are really right now if you want something on the upper end that doesn't have all the issues a lot of vintage necks. Anyway, those are some of the features I like. Right now it's attached to a Telecaster Deluxe. That's not actually a real Telecaster body. That's a Squier, what they call a Telecaster Custom, which is essentially a Telecaster Deluxe if it were a Fender. Anyway, this body's built out. I got this. The wood doesn't sound very good. I've got great pickups and electronics in here, so they're getting ripped out. The body's getting replaced with a nice nitro finish ash body, which is getting worked on right now. My problem is there's no way that this neck is going on that. Those tuners with the black poles sticking out. Very, very functional, very neat, but not something that's going to look really in place on a vintage instrument. Okay, a couple things I got to point out here. This nut has not been. This is, for all intents and purposes, a very new neck. I mean, I just bought it and just threw some finish on it. The nut has not been sized yet. You need to have a technician come in and they need to file out the strings to the correct length. I mean, like you would take with a new guitar anyway. Same thing with the frets. The frets are not leveled. The frets are, they're level and you can play on. I've been playing on this thing for a little bit, and right out of the box it's fine. But you want to have edge dressings like you would with any new Warmoth neck. I'll give you a look at the back of this thing here a little bit, and you can see, looking at these Planet Waves. Much as I like their functionality, I can't really see that on a CBS headstock classic looking. I'm not putting this on a vintage instrument. It just wouldn't look right. However, somebody could get a lot of kick out of this. You look at the finish on the back. I did that. It's real nice figuring back here. And this is my first finish job. I'm not too thrilled with it. It looks okay here when you're looking at it. A little bit along the sides, basically around this area. You've got, you can kind of feel the bump between where the fretboard is. And get a good look here. It needs to be, this really just needs to be, it's a little shiny along the edge of the fretboard. It's not bad. I mean, you can play this thing, but I do feel like a little couple bumps in the finish. I mean, it was the first time I did this. So basically, I'm kind of selling it partially because I don't feel like sanding this thing down and starting all over. Somebody who knows what they're doing could probably do a better job. Anyway, that's pretty much the long and short of it. There's nothing wrong with the neck. I mean, it looks good. I don't think there's that much you really have to do with it. If you just want a neck and you want to play right now, you can put it on and be fine. If you want to use it and spruce up the finish later on, I don't think you'll have any issues with that if you want to put the time into it. But like I said, it should go a little bit cheaper because of that. But it's got a lot of features on it, and like I said, if you've got a decent tech, a little sandpaper, and you take this thing in, I mean, you got a pretty nice functional neck. Oh, the other thing I want to show you too. I'm gonna make this quick because we're already at 5.5 minutes. This is just the grain of the wood here. There's a couple cigarette burn looking marks in the wood. I hope you can see that. That came with the neck. That's just patterns in the wood. I saved a few bucks when I bought it from Warmoth because, presumably because of that. I don't know. You can paint this thing black or leave it. Like I said, it's all different strokes for different folks. I don't feel like refinishing this thing or really touching it up, which is what it needs, and I just don't need it anyway. So, yeah. Once again, locking tuners, your Von and Nut. It is finished, so you can use it as is in compound radius. And there it is. Any questions, just post them on the eBay auction. I'll get right back to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.